Well, I've had a couple later nights. Um, Friday night, Saturday night. Once I got back to the hotel, or once I checked in Friday, and then once I got back from my friend's house Saturday night, I had some dinner. I think it was Del Taco Friday night. Once I checked in, it was already like probably nine something, and then like by the time I went down to Del Taco and then got back and everything, and then Saturday or it's Sunday now technically, but Saturday night I had dinner once I got back from my friend's place. I left there nine something, got back, had some one of those Sprouts pre-made meals. It was like a turkey meatloaf with I think it was like cauliflower rice. It was like a creamy cauliflower rice and some kind of like roasted Brussels sprouts. So it wasn't super heavy, but I mean, for that time of night, it's definitely heavy. It wasn't like a super salad, but it was good. So I had my meal in, hydrated quite a bit, woke up probably two, three times during the night because of the hydration. So I'm learning some things intestinally. Um, I don't know if it's that provolone cheese or the pasteurized hard boiled eggs that are pre peeled, but something on one of those notes is not the best plan for my stomach. So I won't be eating either of those today. I ate those yesterday for lunch, which was practically almost supper. Um, because yesterday I had woken up around like 9:30 or 9 a.m. and then got up around 9:30. Today's kind of about the same. I woke up around 7 a.m. today, and I put on something that I to listen to that I thought was like 1 hour long, and it was like 4 hours long. And I woke up at the 2 hour mark, and I was like, oh shoot, it's like after 9. But I don't need to be anywhere till 5:30. I'm probably not gonna leave till like 4:45. So I'm good. Right now it's 11:11. Just turned 11:12 a.m. So uh plans for today, podcasting. Then I'm gonna go into some guitar playing and some stretching and exercising. I wanted to check. So yesterday, I did some of my stretches for my back. Yesterday, I was having a lot of back pain. I think from sleeping on this bed. It's just a different. It's comfortable, but it's just a different firmness. It's a lot more firm than my bed, and I think my back was like, "What are you doing? This is not what we're used to." So most of Saturday, for some reason, I had a lot of back pain, but it was fine. It ended up being fine. Um, I around two something, I kind of was doing stretches for maybe like distracted stretches for maybe 20 minutes or so, 15, 20 minutes while waiting for my food to get delivered. And the food got delivered around 3 something. Finally, yesterday. I should have paid the $3 extra because I ordered it around like 2:30 or something, and it took like 3 hours. But and then you have to be a little bit aware, like alert, and like off and on the phone, like going back and forth with the person shopping for the groceries. So I basically did that. But I got some relatively healthy food. I felt like that was a better deal to buy a couple groceries that I can just take back home with me when I gotta leave and check out Monday morning. But for now, I'll have those groceries here, and it's relatively healthy stuff. But I think the cheese and the maybe it's the avocado oil mayo or the those pasteurized eggs that are organic pre-peeled hard-boiled eggs, something in that realm. My stomach, since I ate it yesterday, was not on good terms with me about that fully, and then it's fine now because this morning I had a lot of coffee and stuff, and you know how that goes. So I kind of took care of that issue, but yeah, like I did get some exercise yesterday, so that 15 to 20 minutes of stretches. The what else did I do? So 15 to 20 minutes of stretching, then about 37 minutes worth of like more stretching, like heavier stretching, and kind of some dance exercising. And I was going to check my health app to see my friend has a dog, and we were out like walking the dog, running around with the dog. He was running, I wasn't really running. So I'm trying to see steps. How many steps did I get in? Was it a decent amount? Let's see. It was between 8 and 9 p.m. It wasn't that much then. It was like all right. I'm gonna look it up. Okay. Seeing how long the steps are. How far I actually kind of went. Steps to miles calculator. It's only about a half mile. What I did was only about maybe a half mile. Let me see. And then see time-wise how that looks. So average time with walking. I'm not really a fan of Quora. Goodness. Man, the Wi-Fi here is so slow. It doesn't say. I don't know. I don't know. But it was a little bit that we were outside. So I gotta put in that information as far as what I was doing. But it's been, it already kind of feels like a pretty quick trip, even though I'm not even, I haven't been here for that long, really. But, so yeah, so I'm writing it down, and today I'll add more. It's hard to really calculate, steps, like, into minutes, because we're basically, for the health group, we track how long we were exercising for, not necessarily how many reps or how many miles or whatever. It's like, how long were you participating in activity? So it's like, unless I put on like the stopwatch of like how long I'm taking to do something, it's not that clear, but that's kind of all I have for today. I'm not really doing that much. I'm kind of just gonna do what I planned to do while I'm here at the hotel. It always feels like the clock is ticking, right? It's like, man, clock's ticking down. Um, Yesterday it took like, dude, it took from like, I think I was done podcasting around 1, maybe 12:30 or so. It took till like almost 4 p.m. or so to upload a 1 hour episode. Probably like four to 5 hours. That's how bad the Wi-Fi is here. But I didn't want to pay. I didn't want to renew my Google Fi for now because I'm like, I don't think I really need it. Like I can wait. I'm in no rush. You know, what am I rushing for? So I decided not to do anything with that. But yeah, it is going to be kind of a weird little situation with podcasting. I don't know. I'm recording this directly into my phone, but the other pods I can't record directly into the phone. Today I've got my clothes ready. They've been hanging since Friday night, so they shouldn't be wrinkled at all. I've got a button-down short sleeve shirt to wear under the blazer that I got from Amazon, and then I've got my work shoes and some pants that are those DKNY brand. I don't know what type of material it is, but it's not jeans. It's like some kind of thinner fabric, but that's kind of what I'm wearing to the wedding. For me, that's kind of dressed up. For other people, I'm not wearing like a ball gown or anything, or like some kind of summery dress. So we'll see how it is, how it feels. I'm kind of going solo. I didn't get a +1, and I don't. Even if I did, I don't think I know anyone that I would fully invite all the way to San Diego for like a whole weekend. But like not that I don't want to hang out with people. I'm just saying, like, I don't know anyone who would want to spend from Friday to Monday in San Diego, or anyone who would want to just drive in for the day. So I kind of just, I didn't even get a +1 option, so I'm just kind of gonna be there. And yeah, like that's, kind of what my day is looking like. A little bit of creativity, a little bit of music, hopefully a lot of music, exercise, trying to kind of hit all the points. I did kind of get a little off track last week with not exercising enough and stuff like that, so I'm really going to try to make sure I, keep everything solid this weekend at least. That's what weekends are for. You got to kind of play catch up, even if that means sleep a little later, hydrate a little more, have those vitamins on time. At least if I have 2 or 3 days of actually like doing things on track, that's better than nothing. I did have a half of a Corona last night, so that was my first bit of beer for like months, I think. I drank a little bit. I remember at Black Pride in 2023 in July, and there was one other time. Oh yeah, so at my friend's thing in April, his gig, I had a Stella cider, and so yeah, this is my first drink since then, since like April 20 something, so it's been a little over a month. But you guys can see, like, as far as drinking, I hardly drink. I did feel that half of the Corona, though. I got a little giggly, and I was like, oh, like, I kind of feel this. and I just kind of stayed put for a couple hours and like 2-3 hours or so, and then we kind of just hung out. My friend's dog looks just like my dogs. One of my dogs, one of my two dogs, totally reminds me of that dog. Very cool hunting dog, you know. Um, and I kind of miss having pets. That dog really kind of seemed to gravitate towards me, and I was kind of like, oh, like how sweet, you know. I like animals, and the dog was pretty sweet. Very playful, young. Not very young. It's kind of big, but it's young. Um, so it was just very playful, very, very, very energetic. Especially till it got taken out outside to like run. It just like sprints. The dog is freaking fast, man. Really cool to see. Um, my friend's apartment complex has you know, an area for dogs, and I really just like seeing people, you know, do well. I'm glad to see people moving up in their careers and being able to like, you know, make money to afford what they want. Finally, you know, in Southern California, it's not the easiest place to kind of make things work like that. So, you know, I'm kind of just trying to take notes and see what other people are up to and see if there's anything that I could maybe learn from what they're doing, or maybe kind of try to jump on that bandwagon and, you know, work at some of these sites that have better pay. But I don't really know. Like you know, I'm still kind of in the process of figuring it out. I don't want to be um too stuck on um just trying to like only manage staying in this job, and I don't want to get just stuck in this job, and I don't want to get, you know, um I don't want to get away from savings. So I don't really want to necessarily quit this job, uh, because I'm kind of solidly in already. But I don't know. I just I'm really not into the monitoring process of this training. It's really getting to me. Um, Part of me is like, you need to just get over it, because any job you start, they're going to be monitoring you. If you want to work remotely, you know, that's kind of how it goes. But I just, you know, it's just very anxiety provoking for me. And even though I'm getting good feedback, I kind of don't really want to do it that way. But I don't know. I don't know. Because it gets in my head, like when people tell me, oh, like you didn't do this right, or like however it is that they're, I wouldn't say reprimanding me, but however it is that they're kind of like choosing to verbalize that correction of things, it kind of gets stuck in my head, and then I'm kind of like, it maybe puts me in a bit of a negative mindset about myself, or just kind of like, oh, like you screwed this up kind of thing. Um, so I mean, that's the part that kind of gets to me more. But at least this site, the people are nice and respectful and polite. There could be other sites where people are like rude and mean. Um, I remember when I worked at Old Navy very temporarily overnight. This I was kind of spaced out then, and like this the guy who was in charge kind of told me, and I don't know, I guess he told everyone, he was like, take out the, if you know how Old Navy is arranged, how it has those like different bays, technically, those different sections, depending on what you're shopping for, it has these different sections. Um, and so, you know, he told me to take a certain section and remove the racks, because I think they were putting in some new ones, and then I was gonna have to put those racks back in where I got them from, and I couldn't remember which rack went where. I had no idea, and somebody else had to like do it because it was like an overnight shift. It just wasn't a good fit, and he was just like, "Oh, you're killing me," kind of thing, and I'm just like, "Dude, like that was so long ago," and like I still remember that night, and like, but I was just really foggy, really spacey. I'd never worked retail like that. Like I worked at Hollister overnight, but that's a much smaller store in Hollister in the mall, and just like you just fold one section, and it was like there was just music playing in the background, and all we did was just fold clothes using the little boards and stuff, and it wasn't that bad of a situation. But this Old Navy store, I feel like um, they kind of wanted us working faster. I think they said it should take 20 minutes to like refold one whole section or something like that. I can't remember if they said 20 minutes or 60 minutes or how long it took, but I think it took me about 60 minutes. So I was already working too slow for them, and like I didn't last long at that job. I got let go, me and two other people. There was one night where it was just me and the two of them working, and we couldn't log into our time cards on the electronic system. And I remember that day the manager came in late, and then he seemed kind of grumpy, and our time cards weren't working, and it was just three of us, and the three of us were taking care of that whole store, and we just kind of weren't able to keep the job. So I guess we were all too slow, I guess. And they didn't really give us a warning. I guess that night was the test, pretty much. And then they were like, "Oh, you're all too slow, so this is your final paycheck," kind of thing. And it was kind of like, okay. And they would let us out at like 6 in the morning. Like, I think we worked from like, I don't remember when we started, but we would work from store closing pretty much till like 6 in the morning. But I don't know, like, part of me is still trying to find like the best fit of work. I don't think working in the malls is the best fit of work for me. And these types of jobs, working in like health related fields, I don't know. Like, healthcare is a very lucrative job, but there are also multiple jobs within healthcare, physical and mental health, where some people just don't get paid well. If you're not licensed, you're not going to get paid that well, unless you get some kind of managerial position or some kind of position where you kind of just bypass all of that, like clinical type of paid work, which is possible, but you have to kind of find a way to bypass it. And so, I don't know. It's either I try that method or, you know, I mean, for me, the appeal of tech is that you're not dealing with people's illnesses, you're not dealing with death necessarily, you're not dealing with sickness and symptoms and all that. You're dealing with hardware and software for the most part. Sales, I'm pretty decent with sales, I would say, as far as hitting metrics when I know what they are. This job, I am getting a little mixed message about what the metrics actually are, because I thought I heard one thing and then I just got told something else, and they're telling me I'm doing good and they're telling me my write-ups are good, and then this guy was like, wait, when I asked him a question, he was kind of like, oh, you're not doing this thing right, so now they want to spend Tuesday going over this thing, and I'm like, I'm really still kind of kicking myself. I'm like, why did I even ask, because I'm just hoping he didn't write it down and he gets too busy, because they've got other people they're interviewing and training. I just hope they just don't have any time for me, and they don't start monitoring me even more. But I don't really know what um, what numbers I'm supposed to be hitting. They say 12 a week, and then I need to be doing home visits weekly. I don't know how often weekly, but it's like that's the thing. I need the numbers. I need to know what are the numbers that I'm trying to hit so I can tell if I'm above or below or on target. Um, I don't fully know that yet, and so I might have to do my own digging. I just don't like to spend the weekends thinking about work. I've got 2 more days till I've got to go back in, so I don't really want to think about it too much, but I might need to figure out a study schedule. Um, if I'm going to be getting into IT, or I might just need to work a lot, save a lot, and then stop working and then study, because it's going to be pretty challenging. Um, but yeah, but that's kind of all. That's kind of it. Um, I'm gonna get this uploaded and kind of get on with the next phases of today. Memorial Weekend.